Hi, my name's Alec and I'm a master model builder. At the very least, that's what my shirt says. But it is a real job title, and I work for Legoland Discovery Centers, designing ridiculous Lego models like big bricks that open up, big bricks that will eat you. Just kidding, it's friendly. And random fish, banana spaceships, working Lego guitars, cameras, breakaway cows, toasters, refrigerators, pizza, mysterious citrus, phones, even older phones, crabs, penguins, chickens, tardigrades, big gorillas, and big gorillas dressed in business casual attire. So professional. Point is, I build a lot of stuff out of Lego bricks. Gotta put all these back now. That was too many examples. And even though I've achieved this title of Master Model Builder, that doesn't mean that I'm done learning. In fact, I'm practicing every single day. And if I'm being honest with myself, I've gotten a lot better at Lego building in the 9 years that I've had this job. Like, here's a penguin I built pretty much on my first day. And here's one that I built a couple of years later. And here's a bonus tiny one that is honestly my favorite of the three. Don't tell the others I said that.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. And it's not that I don't like this penguin. I love it, in fact. It's just I have more resources and knowledge about techniques now. Like, the vision was there. This one is just a little bit more master builderized. And that's kind of the same thing that I've been doing with models from kids that they build when they visit the Legoland Discovery Center. I love getting inspired by the awesome models that kids create and then try to make my own version of them. And now I'd like to do the same with one of my own builds. My first build ever. Well, not my first build ever. That was probably something like this when I was 3. This is a recreation of the model that I made in the very first round of the competition I had to win to get this job. The original model used some pretty questionable building techniques, but it got the job done. It got me to the next round and I'm dang proud of it. Oh, it's so fragile. So now 9 years later, with more bricks and more experience, we're gonna take inspiration from this model, which it's a jellyfish, by the way. Did I mention that? This is a jellyfish. Anyway, we're gonna take inspiration from this jellyfish and we are going to master builderize the first model I ever made. Now for most builds, I like to start with a very recognizable feature, usually the face, and start from there and then build the rest of the model around that. By focusing our efforts on a focal point like that, it gives us some room to make the rest of the model a little less detailed, but our brain will fill it in as being, detailed. Wow, that's a great bald eagle. Thanks, brain. Yeah, should think, bud. Unfortunately, jellyfish don't really have a central focal point. They're just kind of blobs. No offense. I mean, we could add eyes. Hey! I do not like that. So I guess I'll just start with trying to get these curves right. And after doing a little bit of experimentation with angled pieces and Technic, I have determined that the easiest thing is probably to do my classic tried and true technique of building a T and then trying to just fill in the corners. So I create a little T as the center of the model. And to get these angles, we could use slope bricks, but I want to get some more detail in there. And one of my favorite ways to get angle are to use these rocker hinges. We can lock them into a constant angle by using a little cheese slope and then mash together multiple of those to create curves. We take some snot bricks to build sideways, add some cheese wedges, our hinge, build up the back a little, more cheese wedges, and another hinge which will give us a nice curve that we can actually build on. Now we also want to match the color palette of our original. So I'm actually going to swap out these cheese wedges with yellow because when you put this back on, you can still see just a whisper of yellow there. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Little details like this can really elevate a build. Actually, maybe more than a whisper of yellow. Yellow! So now we have this structure. Flesh out the center a little bit with some more snot bricks. You always want to separate these by 2 plates because that'll actually let us build across them. And then using some slope bricks, we can bulk up the sides. We of course do our best to try and color match the original. Slot in a bracket, add some brick all around. To round out these corners, I'm going to use this rounded plate. We do add some tile and beef it up a little bit so that I can add some more snot bricks to add plate all around, a few more slopes, and a corner slope on top. Gives us an effect that I think is pretty well rounded. Now the great thing about building something rounded like this is that it's the same in every corner. So now that we've designed one of the corners, we just have to copy it exactly 3 more times. Looking pretty good. Fun fact, this jellyfish is symmetrically weighted, so we can add a pin to the top, a handle to the back, and then we've got ourselves a jellyfish top. Add some detail to the top, and I love using these half plates because it lets us get an additional level of detail that we wouldn't normally get. Like you can still see a little bit of the yellow. It's not completely blocked by this, but it's a little bit blocked. And for now, at least, let's give him a tiny top hat. So dapper. And for these little red wings, we're gonna add this tile that has some clips on it and build a little structure that can be posed and pop that right on there. On both sides, of course. Okay, top hat party's over. Add the last bit of color detail, and the top of our jellyfish is done. Now, as already demonstrated, the stability of this guy is an issue. Ridiculous. So for this one, I'm gonna make a sneaky little stand with clear bricks that we can pop on the bottom, and that way the tentacles don't have to be load-bearing. Moved a little bit, but it's stable. We're gonna add a ring of white to match our inspiration model, and then add a whole bunch of rods as connection points for all the tentacles. We have 24 connection points here, which means we need 24 tentacles all built exactly the same, which is gonna be a lot faster if we build it as a montage of clicks and snaps. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the rest. So for anything that is designed using clips and rods like this, we have great articulation, but I also love to use these pieces, which have a rounded side. And when paired with a rounded stud, it gives us this additional degree of movement. Very poseable. And even on our original tentacles, we have that degree of movement because we're only attaching it with one stud, and see how there's nothing behind there? That lets it move left and right. The more you know. I love learning. That's right, brain. Now we attach these. Beautiful. It's giving a strong sombrero vibe right now, but we can pose these. Much better. And with that, I think our master builderized jellyfish is done. And of course, here's a side-by-side with the original jellyfish. And while I do really like this master builderized jellyfish, I can't really compare them because the circumstances in which they were built is radically different. I really gotta do something about that. Maybe I should build an updated version or something. But I can't compare these because this is the model I built in the competition to get the job. It's called Brick Factor. We only have 20 minutes to build. We have super limited pieces, and crucially, there's a bunch of people there watching, and we're talking with them. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty high pressure. And then meanwhile, this guy's delicately crafted over 2 hours with all these pieces. But I want something I can compare it to. And luckily, we do still have that original brick mix I used in my competition 9 years ago. So I'm gonna take this out into Legoland Discovery Center, Arizona, where there are a few bit of distractions, and try to rebuild a jellyfish in 20 minutes. I'll even find some competition in the form of very talented children. But we're gonna have 20 minutes to use the pieces here, or on the table, to design an animal. Do you guys wanna give it a shot? Yeah. Do you guys wanna be master builders? Yeah! Yeah. Now I won't subject you guys to the super noisy audio of this competition, but it was super fun, and it was actually very similar to the Brick Factor competition that I had to do to get the job. A big reason that we run the competition like this is because we're not just looking for a really great builder, we're looking for somebody who's very creative and who can talk about their process and kind of teach people as they do it. All the kids who participated had no problem talking while building, and I know they would all make great master model builders. Being timed is just as stressful as I remember it being. But here is a jellyfish made with that same brick mix in the same time limit under the same conditions that I built this one. I did build the entire thing sideways to fix the leg stability issue. Now would this model move me on to the next round of the competition? Hard to say given the quality of some of the models the kids made. This is a starfish with underwear. This bird? Look at this bird! It's so good. Kids are so talented. Where are they getting all this talent? Well, if I got nothing else out of this experience, at least I got some cool new inspiration models. But now come on over here to my actual advice corner. And yes, I know it's a wall, not a corner. Don't think too hard about it. So in any creative hobby, whether it's Lego building or drawing or basket weaving, I don't know what you do, it's very easy to compare yourself to people that you see online or people who have more experience. But really the most useful person that you can compare yourself to is yourself in the past. That's why I love doing these projects. So make sure you keep around just like photos of what you produced when you first started so that you can look back on it, and even when you're feeling like you're not the best at whatever it is you're doing, you can say, oh dang, wow, I have gotten better. Cool. It's super useful for helping you grow as an artist, and it's something that I do regularly. Okay, back over here. All right, well, I've never done a long video like this before, so I'm not quite sure how to end it. Bye!